Hey, in today's video, I'm going to show you a way to create a WordPress website to sell courses and coaching, but without using WooCommerce. Now, we know that WooCommerce is a free and a great plugin, but unfortunately, it's sometimes an overkill if you want to sell just a few courses, a coaching, a membership, or just a simple subscription. Because WooCommerce is a heavy code base, and what it does is it makes your website slow. And there are also many moving parts because WooCommerce by itself is not alone. You need multiple plugins in order to customize the checkout page, to build upsells, downsells, and that makes it a little bit difficult to manage. So what I'm going to show you today is a simple checkout system to sell one-time payment courses and also to give access to those courses and all the automation behind it. I'm going to use Fluent Forms and Fluent CRM in order to build all the functionality out. Okay, so let's take a look at the demo first, and then after that, go into building our own. So on my screen here, you see that I've developed a simple homepage here as, let's say, you're a meditation or a yoga coach. And at the moment you have only one course. Okay, so when you click on the button on the homepage, it's going to lead you to the landing page of your course. Now, let's say you have a video explaining about your course itself. And then if a visitor is interested to buy, he's going to click on the instant access button. And we have built a customized checkout page. And you can customize the fields here, which means that you do not have to ask for unnecessary information. Now compare that to the WooCommerce default checkout where you have the shipping address and the billing address and the company name and all that. All that nonsense is completely taken out. You can add as many fields as you want or as less as you need. So here I just have the first name, the last name, the email and phone number. And I also have a kind of an upsell right within the first checkout itself. So I have given the option to the client or the visitor that they can buy a 1 month access for just $49 or a 1 year access for $99. Now you could use this method and either have a lifetime access for $199. You can bundle up some additional, let's say you bundle up a one-on-one coaching call and you can mark up the price. So just within one form, you can have an upsell on it. And then there is a field, if you have or enable a coupon field, you can also have that and there'll be a special discount that they can get. And then when they click the purchase button, so I filled up the forms here. I'm using a dummy email address. I filled up the forms and let's say that I'm buying the 1 year access. Then once I click the access button, once I complete the access, it's going to redirect me to the course page itself. And voila, I already have access to the course. I can click on the start learning button and I can get into the course page itself. And here I have just filled it up with 2 lessons, but you can have multiple lessons as you need. And that's how the whole functionality is going to flow like. So this is what we are going to build. It does not contain any WooCommerce at all, but it does contain some paid modules. So let's get into the details of how we can deliver this. So now I am at the back end of the WordPress website itself, and I want to give you a quick glimpse of the kind of plugins that we will need in order to achieve this functionality. Now we are going to collect payments using the Fluent Forms Pro add-on. Okay, this is a paid add-on. Now there is going to be a link below this video which contains an affiliate link. If you find this video helpful and you decide to purchase, I'm going to get a small commission, and I thank you in advance if you decide to do it. And we are also going to use the Fluent CRM Pro version. The Fluent CRM Pro is going to give us the automation field so that when somebody buys that buys your course access through that purchase form, they automatically are tagged, and then Fluent CRM Automation is going to enable and give access to that particular course. And then we have no other paid plugins. The TutorLMS is what I'm using as a learning management system, and I'm only using the free version for this particular video. So the only 2 paid add-ons that you will need in order to get this functionality is Fluent Forms Pro and Fluent CRM Pro. And the remaining are just, I'm using Elementor as a page builder, but again, just the free version. I'm using Elementor header and footer builder to build up the header and the footer. There is this free plugin called Dynamic Visibility, which is going to add certain visibility conditions. I mean, I can hide for logged in users certain fields. I can display certain fields or widgets for logged out users. So those are the play. And remaining are just for video and all that, like Presto Player. Fluent SMTP is for email. So take a screenshot of all the plugins here. You can install all of them here, or you can just choose which one you want to build. Okay, let's get into the details now. I am going to first show you the TutorLMS course itself. So the first course I have built is this emotional mastery class. It only has 2 lessons, as we just saw. what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a new course, and I'm going to call this second paid course. Okay, and let's come down. I'm going to go to the course settings. We will keep this at a beginner level. Okay, there are no maximum students. I'm going to come and click on add new topic, and I'm going to say introduction. That is the first topic, and that topic is going to have 2 lessons. So let's say lesson 1. I'm going to paste a YouTube URL here, and let's say that YouTube video is 10 minutes long. I update the lesson, and then let's have another lesson just for the sake of it, lesson number 2. Let's add the same YouTube URL. Let's say this is 15 minutes long, update the lesson, and that is all our course settings. So let's publish this course. And what I'm going to do is edit this course with Elementor. So the course page, I'm going to edit it with Elementor. So this is the default course page that TutorLMS is going to build. What we are going to do is I'm going to take out certain elements that I don't want. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this section completely. I am going to pull this course enrollment box below the video, and then I am going to delete this complete second column. Okay, and then this whole section that I have in the layout, I'm going to call, I just want it to be 1000 pixels wide on a desktop. All right, so once that is done, I see that this course information, the course content part, is pulled up too much, and that's because there is a 20 pixels of margin. I'm going to make it 0, and I update this course field. Now, here are 2 things that we need to achieve. So let's first take a look at, I'm going back to the courses on TutorLMS, and I'm going to open the second paid course. I'm going to click on it, right click on it, and I'm going to open it in an incognito window, and I'm going to see as a visitor how it is displaying to him. Okay, so I do not see an introduction video here. So let's go back to the second paid course. And as we scroll down, in the introduction video, I'm going to select YouTube, and let's add 1 video as the introduction video. Let's refresh. And okay, here we have the second paid course. This is the course landing page itself. And right now it says it's a free course, but this is not what we want. We want this to be a paid course. Okay. So in order to achieve that, I am going to the Elementor page builder here. Let's refresh this page. So this is the course enrollment box. I want this enrollment box or the course purchase box to be visible only to those who have already purchased this course. And those who have not purchased this course, I want to add a button for them so that they can go to the checkout page and purchase the course. So I'm going to call the second paid course, and I'm going to say purchase, or I'm going to say instant purchase, and I'm going to put a value of $199. So let's say this course, I want to price it at $199. Okay, so now I have 2 buttons. This instant purchase button should be available for those who have not purchased this course, and this access button should be available to those who have already purchased this course. Okay, that's my requirement, and the way to build this is through the use of the dynamic visibility plugin condition. So this instant purchase button, if we come into the visibility, we want to enable visibility, and we want this purchase button to be visible to those who have not purchased this course. So now the question is, how do we determine who has purchased this course and who has not purchased this course? In order to do that, we are going to come into the dashboard, and if you take a look at the screenshot that I had of the plugins that I had already have you installed, one of them is called User Role Editor. And once you install and activate that plugin, you come into the Users tab here, and you will be able to see the User Role Editor. So let's open that up, and under this drop down, you will see that for the first paid course that I already created, that I showed you in the demo, I have created 2 additional user roles. One of the user role is called FPC, which stands for first paid course, and I have given it a 1-month access, so that's 1M. And then I've created a secondary user role called FPC 1Y. So those who purchase the 1-month access, they get this role. Those who purchase a 1-year access are going to get this role. So similarly, we are going to create 2 new roles, and this one is going to be named as SPC. Remember that in the role name ID, everything must be in small letters, not in capitals. And I'm going to say that's going to be a 1-month access. I'm going to name the same as the display, and let's add that role. So that's SPC1M. And we are going to add a second role called SPC1Y. So now we have two new user roles developed, okay? And we are going to ensure that those who have the user role SPC1M or SPC1Y will not be able to see this button, but they will be able to see this one. And those who have SPC1M1Y, they will be able to come and enroll and access the course, and they will not be able to see the purchase button anymore because they already have access to it. So let's first of all refresh this page because we've just added the user roles. And now let's click on the button, the purchase button, and let's go into the visibility tab. And let me collapse this one. And under the user and role button, I am going to say SPC, and you will see that it populates, it shows me SPC1M, SPC1Y. I select both of them, and I will keep this at no, which means regardless of which tag, which user role the visitor already has, this button is going to be hidden. And I want to make sure that this button is going to be hidden if the user role is SPC1M or 1Y. Similarly, I'm going to click on the next widget, which is the course enrollment widget. I'm going to go to the visibility tab. I'm going to select yes, but this time it's going to be showing, I want to show this to those who have the user role SPC1M and 1Y. And let's update it. Now I'm going to open this course under my own. I'm logged in as the admin right now. Right now I see this purchase button, and the reason I see this purchase button is because I don't have the user role SPC1M because I have not purchased it yet. So in order to do the testing, I'm going to come under users. So here I am as the user. I'm going to go into my own capabilities, and as you can see, I have the SPC1M, but I do not have SPC1M or SPC1Y. So in order to do the testing, let me give myself the role of SPC1M. I'm going to update, and then let me come and refresh. And you see the purchase button is now hidden and the access button is available. So if I click on this button, I can go directly into the lesson pages. Okay, so I hope this made sense. This is the functionality that we want to achieve. And with that, our course page is completely, so if you come here as a visitor, our course page is completely developed. Okay, so this is what a visitor is going to see. Once he purchases this, he should be able to come back to this page, and the user role of SPC1M must be given to him once he completes the purchase so that he can access the lessons inside. Okay, let's move on to the next part now, where we are going to build in the form, and we want to ensure that when somebody completes the purchase of that form, the user role and access to the lessons are given to them. So let's go into, I'm going to close all these forms at the moment, and let's come back to the dashboard of, so let's come back to the back end of the website, and now I'm going to go into Fluent Forms Pro. I'm going to go into all forms, and as you can see, I've created a checkout page for FPC. I'm going to create a new checkout page now. I'm going to start it from scratch to show you, and let's give it a name of SPC, which stands for second paid course, and I'm going to call it checkout. So the first thing I'm going to add are two name fields. These are the first name and the last name. We want to come in and make sure that these are required fields. Let's save the form. Next, I want an email field, which also must be required. And I also want a phone number field. This also must be a required field. Let's save it. All right. Now we've done that. Now we need to come into the payment fields. Now, in order for you to have the payment fields, you must be upgraded to the pro version. This is not available in the free version. So once again, go check out the link that I have on the video, and you can buy Fluent Forms Pro for yourself. Or if you're interested, we at 5x Sales Funnel, we can build this funnel out for you, and we can do this, and you can also use our agency licenses, which means that you will not have to spend the license on your own. So for all the descriptions, please head on to our website 5x Sales Funnel and check out the services page. So let's come back to the video. We are going to add the payment item here. This is where we tell them what is the access duration. So I'm going to give the name as select access duration, and instead of the single, I'm going to select the radio, which gives me more options. So I'm going to say 1 month access is going to be $199, and 1 year access is going to be $399. Okay, and it's going to be a required field. Then we need the next one, which is the payment method. Now Fluent Forms Pro allows you multiple payment methods like PayPal, Stripe, Paystack, Razorpay, Molly, etc. Please check out the documentation for the available payment methods. They also provide a test payment method where you can do the testing. So for this video, I am going to use the test payment method to show the to do all this demo testing. Later on, of course, once ready and you see that the functionality is working, you can integrate it with the payment provider of your choice. So the payment method is selected, and we will have one last field, which is the coupon field. So let's say you give a coupon code to them, they can enter it and they can get the associated discount with it. Once that is done, let's save the form. Next, we go on to the settings and integrations of this form, and we are going to do a couple of key integrations here. So the first integration we want to do is a user registration integration. So what we want to do is, if somebody purchases this course as a guest, then they must be logged in to your WordPress website. In order to do that, we are going to call this the WP user registration, and this registration field or integration is also available only with the Pro version of Fluent Forms. Come in, let's select and map the different fields here. So the email address is going to be mapped to email. The username, you can leave it blank. The first name is going to be mapped to the first name, and the last name is going to be mapped to last name. And the password, you can give a random password, and later on the client can come in and change the password. Select the user role that you want to give. I will leave it at subscriber, and let's also uncheck the do not submit the form if user already exists in database. We want them to submit the form, we just don't want this integration to run. So let's save the feed. And the next integration we want to add is called a Fluent CRM integration. So here we want to ensure that when somebody buys the 1 month access, they are given a separate tag. And when somebody buys the 1 year access, they are given a separate tag. So before we do the Fluent CRM integration, I want to open Fluent CRM tags in a different tab. And right now I only have the 2 tags that I created for the first paid course. I'm going to create a similar tag called SPC1M for the second paid course for 1 month access, and SPC1Y, which is for the second paid course, but for 1 year time. So once that is done, I'm going to come here, create a Fluent CRM integration within the Fluent Forms. I'm going to say anybody who completes this form is going to go into the customers list. The email address is going to be mapped to email. The first name and last name are going to be mapped to the first name and last name. And under the contact tags, I am going to enable dynamic tag selection. So here I say that please give the tag SPC1M if the select access duration is equal to 1 month access. And then add the plus button and give them the tag SPC1Y if they select the access duration as 1 year. I don't need to do anything else. I'm going to enable this feed and just save the feed. So these are the 2 integrations that I need to do. So with that, our Fluent Forms is ready and our Fluent CRM integration is also ready. But next, we need to do an important step, which is we want to ensure that the automation runs such that once these tags are given in Fluent CRM, they are automatically enrolled and given access into the course. In order to do that, let's go into Fluent CRM, and there is this tab called Automations. And these tabs are available only in the Pro version, so you need to have the Pro version. So once again, link is down in the field. Buy the Fluent CRM Pro version through the link that we've given, or come visit our website and we'll be happy to help you with our agency license as well. So as you can see, I've created one automation called FPC Access. I'm going to create a second one, and I'm going to name it SPC Access. That means access to second paid course. And this automation is going to be triggered once a new tag is applied. So let's continue. And it's asking me what are the tags that need to be checked in order to start this automation. And that is going to be SPC1M and SPC1Y. So if a client or a visitor has one of these 2 tags, then this automation is going to run, and we want this to be restarted every time. So let's save the settings. Now we are going to have a conditional action here, and we are going to check if somebody has the 1 month access first, and the access is going to be on the contact segment, the tags, and I want to check if somebody has the 1 month SPC 1 month tag. I'm going to save the settings. So if they have the 1 month tag, then the flow works two ways. Either they have or they don't have. So if they don't have, I don't want to do anything. I'm going to just move to the next one. And the next one is going to be, I'm going to check if somebody has the SPC 1 year tag. So let's go to contact segment, tags, includes, and I'm going to see if they have the 1 year tag. So, okay, so I have two conditions here. Now I want to check if they have the 1 month tag, what am I going to do? So I'm going to add in some actions here. The first thing I want to do is I want to give them the user role of SPC1M. So I click on the change user role here, and I'm going to say add SPC1M WP user role, and I'm going to select, scroll down, and I see the SPC1M. I do not want to replace the user role. I just want to add this user role. So please make sure that this is unchecked. By default, it's going to be checked. If you leave it unchecked, all the user roles are going to go away and only the SPC1M is going to be there. So you don't want that. You want to make sure that this is unchecked. Let's save the settings. And the next action I want to run is, scroll down here. I want them to be enrolled into the course. And the course that I want them to be enrolled is the second paid course. Okay. And I want both of these to be unchecked as well, and save the settings. Then I want to wait for 31 days. 31 days is approximately 1 month. Now, I understand this is not exactly 1 month. Some months are going to have 28 days, 29, 30, etc. But be generous, give them 31 days of access, and after 31 days, so it's going to wait for 31 days, and then after 31 days, we are going to remove the user role SPC1M. So once we remove the user role SPC1M, we can also add one more action, and we will say remove them from the course, second paid course. So let's now take a look at the steps that we did. We made sure that as soon as somebody purchases the course, let's say for 1 month of duration, if they purchased for 1 month, they are going to get the user role SPC1M. They are going to enroll into the course, second paid course. Then the automation is going to wait for 31 days. Then after 31 days, they are going to be removed the SPC1M course, the tag, the user role, and they're also going to be unenrolled from that course. So this way your automation is going to be complete, and anybody who purchases the 1 month course is going to automatically have or their access revoked after 31 days. Similarly, now for the 1 year course, we are going to do all the above, except we are going to change the duration from 31 days to 365 days. So let's go back and do all the actions. We are going to first add a user role here. I'm going to name it as add SPC1Y user role. I'm going to select 1Y. I'm going to make sure that this is unchecked and save the settings. Next, I'm going to enroll them into the course. I don't want to send any default emails. Then I'm going to have a wait 365 days automation here, a waiting period of 365 days. Now, if you're generous, you can give them 366 as well. And then after 1 year, I want to, first of all, remove the user role. Sorry, I made a mistake, not this one. I want to remove the user role SPC1Y. And I also want to unenroll them from the course, second paid course. So if you have a third option, like if you do a lifetime deal, then do the automation as is necessary for it. Okay. And once you're done with this, we can switch this on and make this published. So we have done the automation as well. Next step is going to be to create a page that is going to be the checkout page. So in order to do that, let's go into the pages tab here. I'm opening it in a new tab. And as you can see, I created a checkout page for the first paid course. Now I'm going to do the same for the second paid course. So let's create a new page. And let's call this SPC checkout. I'm going to edit it with Elementor. I'm going to make this Elementor canvas, which means there's going to be no header, no footer. It's going to be a blank checkout page without any distractions. Once that is there, let's add a container here. I'm going to give a padding of 75 pixels on the top and bottom and 10 pixels on the right and left. Once that is done, let's add a widget, and this time we're going to add a Fluent form widget here. So let's pull in the Fluent form. Let's also add in one header above the Fluent form itself, and I want to make the container layout to be only 600 pixels because this is just a simple form. You can make it 600 or 700. You don't need too big or wide of a space here. And I'm going to call it instant checkout. Now this is not a designer tutorial, so I'm not going to go into what kind of copywriting should go into the checkout field. There are multiple ways that you can make the checkout field to be more conversion oriented. So let's do that. Let's click on the Fluent form tabs. I want to select the SPC checkout Fluent form here. And now as you see, the form is popped out. Let's style the form a little bit, very minor styling. I'm going to go into the input text and area. And usually I select the border. I make it 0 pixels wide. I take out the coordinations and I make the bottom to be 1 pixel wide. And I'm going to give it accent color here. I'm going to make the border radius 10 pixels. That gives us a beautiful layout. Then I'm going to come down to the submit button here. I'm going to make it to the center. I'm going to make sure the border radius is 0, and I'm going to give it the same theme color here. Okay, so that is all, and our checkout page is also ready. Okay, so let's refresh the pages tab here, and the second page checkout is here. I'm going to copy the URL address, and what I want to do is I want to ensure that the button in the second paid course landing page itself is linking to the checkout page URL. So let's edit that with Elementor. And this instant purchase button, I'm going to click on it, and I want to make sure that this is linked to the checkout page. All right, let's update it. And we have, in my opinion, all the elements and components that we need for this to function ready. So let's now work on it. I want to make sure that I don't have any users ready here. And here we are. So let's say the visitor lands in this page. He's going to click on the instant purchase button. He has this checkout form ready. Let's fill this up. So I filled it up with my details. I'm going to select a 1 month or 1 year access. So let's say I'm going to give a 1 month access here. I do not have a coupon code at this time, so I'm going to submit the form. And as you can see, this instant checkout did not redirect me to the course page itself. So which means I have to go back to the Fluent forms here. And I have to go to the settings of the second page checkout. And here in the confirmation settings, right now it's only going to show me a message. So instead of that, I need to redirect them to the URL itself. And the URL that I need to redirect them is the second paid course. So I'm going to copy the URL of the second paid course. I'm going to put it on here and save the settings. So let's do this one more time. Let's view the course, and I'm going to open it in an incognito window. Okay, the visitor is here on the second paid course. Let's click on the purchase button. We go to the checkout page. Let's fill up all the details. Submit the form. So looks like I wasn't logged into the website, so I need to check why. So let's come into the form itself. Let's go to configure integrations, and in the WP user integration tab, I forgot to click on the auto login. So I need to check that, save the field. And once again, we need to do this test. All right, let's do this one more time. I'm going to click on view course, view it in an incognito tab. And I go to the checkout page. I fill in all the details. I select the 1 month access. Let's submit the form. And there I am, redirected back to the course page, and this time I have been given access, and I've also been logged in. And I can see this page only because I've been logged in. Otherwise, my user role cannot be checked. So our complete integration is functioning exactly as it should. Now, I know that I made this up a bit fast, but please go through the documentation of Fluent Forms Pro and Fluent Forms CRM and try to implement this. There are some settings that you will need to do, but this is the functionality. This is the way that this functionality can be achieved. And in my opinion, this is very, very efficient, and the website becomes very lean if you decide to do this way instead of using WooCommerce. Now, WooCommerce is fantastic, it's free, but unfortunately, it's not necessary for a system where you need to only sell a few courses or a few coaching and subscription or a membership. WooCommerce has a lot of functionality, a lot of code, and that really is going to slow down your website. So I hope that you found this tutorial interesting. If you have any doubts, if you did not understand a certain part of it, please leave your comments below and I will try to address them. If not, you can also reach out to us. You can ask for our help and we can do all this for you very easily and very quickly at a very affordable price. So my name is Sriram from 5x Sales Funnel. We help course creators and coaches build out an effective funnel. If you're interested, check out our website and learn more about us. See you in the next one.